Hi guys, welcome back to Ibby's Bookshelf. I'm Ibby, and before I start, I want to tell everyone that this book review is in honor of Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. This book, Candyfloss by Jacqueline Wilson, is got a lot of family drama in it, and that has never occurred with my family, so I cannot relate to this book exactly. But I know that there are many of you out there who can relate to this, so please read this book, Candyfloss, after watching, liking and subscribing, that is. A bit about Jacqueline Wilson. She writes a huge variety of books for all ages. Like Cliffhanger is good for little kids building up their confidence, and Love Lessons is more of teenage book. I like this Candyfloss because it's a good book for all ages. As we're zooming into this book review, we are at Flossie's birthday. Now, for her, birthdays are coming in two separate places. The one with her mum, stepdad and stepbrother, and the one with her father in his shop. Right now, we're at the one where she wakes up in the morning and her mum, stepdad and stepbrother are there with their presents. She unwraps them and she sees a kangaroo toy, a koala t-shirt and luggage. She starts to piece all these things together, and then comes the big surprise. They're going to Sydney in Australia for 6 months. Flossie's so happy. She could leap up and scream, but then one thing stopped her dead in her tracks. Her father. Her father isn't rich. He lives in a chip shop. He also runs the chip shop. He doesn't get many customers. He used to. That was before everyone started going healthy and not coming to get his chip buddies anymore. She thought, but what about Dad? The mum was like, well, when you come back you can see him. And she had also got her gel pens and notepaper so she could write letters. Flossie was very angry though. She didn't want to spend all that time away. 6 entire months without her father. She had to make a huge decision. Her father or her mother. It's not easy. This is why I can say this book is relatable for a lot of people, because they often have to choose their mother or their father. But for Flossie, it's not like on a weekly basis. It's an entire 6 months without one or the other. When she goes to school, her best friend Rhiannon gives her a birthday present. Floss wants to open her present somewhere private, but Rhiannon looked like she wanted to make a big show out of what she had got Floss. So she opened it when everyone was gawping. She opened it and inside was a bracelet that looked like it had cost a fortune. Of course, Rhiannon wanted Floss to wear it straight away and show it off. Then 2 mean girls called Judy and Margaret came along and tried to grab it off her. Floss wanted it back and begged Rhiannon to give it back, but they really wouldn't until Rhiannon said, right, give it back to Floss, it's her birthday present. She went in and then her teacher, Miss Hoffersfield, gave her an ice bun like she does for all the kids when they have their birthdays. Then on the weekends she went to her father. She only sees her fathers on Saturdays and Sundays, so they were pretty special. Her father scooped her up. She loves going to her father's because little Tim, aka Tiger, wasn't there to hog the spotlight like she did at home with her mum and Steve. Her dad handed her his birthday presents, and inside, when you put them all together, it was a beautiful princess outfit. A little handmade and hand-me-downs, but it looked great on Floss. They then went to a fair and met a really nice lady at the Candyfloss stall and got Candyfloss. Her name was Rose. Then some mean thugs came along and were like, "Oh, gimme this, gimme that." Her dad had to stick up for the lady and got really hurt doing so. The lady took them into the caravan. Rose said that in the fair, since it was a moving fair, she was always travelling around. She did candy floss, but she could also read fortunes. She asked Floss if she wanted her fortune read, and Floss said yes. She read her palm and said that many changes would occur. Floss was very excited. Though it hadn't been a best day ever, she still had a lot of fun that day. And when she went back to school, she was excited to tell all her friends. Then it turns out that there is some really bad news. Her father has to sell the chip shop because he can't afford to keep it up and running anymore. So whilst his friend Billy is out away somewhere, he is going to be taking over his chip van. But then one day there's a fire, and don't worry, they all got out alive, but it caused a huge stir in her school. She came in and everyone was really happy and excited for her, except Ryan. Personally, I think she's a bit jealous that Floss is getting so much attention from the teachers and everyone. That's when things get really heated. Floss gets mad and decides to break off Ryan once and for all. She is no longer her best friend. She goes to another girl called Susan. Floss had always liked Susan but was scared to admit it in front of Ryan. But now that she was not friends with Ryan anymore, she didn't feel scared. Susan and her hit it off and they became best friends. Susan loved her dad's chips and really likes Floss. She isn't bossy and mean and has a mom who tries to tell her dad what to do all the time. She is just a really good friend. So this book is all about trust and relationships, but it's not over yet. Rose becomes Floss's new stepmother because she marries her dad. And at the very end of the story, Floss asks her dad something. "Dad?" "Yes, princess?" "Can I dye my hair pink?" And her dad says, "No, absolutely not." But she has her way of getting around him. And the end. That's how the story ends. So I really like it because it shows that no matter what, Floss stuck by her dad. Even when things started getting heated up in her own life, she always made time for her father. And her father tried to do all he could for her daughter. So this is why I think it was a great idea to review this book for Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, especially my dad. And before I end this video, I also want to remind that look in the description below and click the link so you can follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Well, bye!